อทุกท่านร่วมต้อนรับทายาทผู้สืบทอดพันธสัญญาอันยิ่งใหญ่ของผู้สถาปนา
Please give a big round of applause to Nutrilite Health Institute President, Dr.Sam Rehnborg, and Co-Chairman of Amway, Steve Van Andel, and Doug DeVos.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you all. I've been looking forward to this trip for a long time. You guys are amazing. My major claim to fame is I've been eating Nutrilite longer than anybody else on the planet. Actually, I will be turning 88 in just a short period of time. But I've actually been eating Nutrilite almost for 90 years. Because I was eating it before I was born. And that's why we say it's important to eat your Nutrilite and make it a part of your lives for a long, perpetual period. That's what it's all about. And it's so exciting to see what you've been doing in this country and seeing how it's just so spectacular. I know it hasn't been easy these last couple of years, but I can tell you the change is happening now, and it's happening quickly. We're beginning to find out that the whole world is beginning to look at the things that you've been teaching and learning about these many years. The role of good health starts at a very young age, and the earlier you can get good health, the better chance you're going to live a long, happy life. And that's what Nutrilite's all about. And so I've been eating the product myself all these many years, so I'm the lucky one, and those of you who are starting young will have the benefits also. But the challenge is to get more and more people to embrace our concepts of good nutrition and good health for the long haul. And that's what we teach people around the world. And you've been doing a fabulous job here, that's for sure. And the future is incredible. The whole world now is beginning to awaken to the importance of what you're doing. The whole world is beginning to recognize that the best way to tackle the problems facing the world, our own nutrition, our own health, the health of our climate, the health of our oceans, the health of our trees, is best to prevent these problems from occurring. And the same especially goes true with the health of the human body, to make sure we get people eating and using the product from the very earliest time in their lives as they can. And that's what we're all about, and that's what helps to make this such a wonderful product to help people for the long haul and to help them have the most effective, happy lives for their whole family. So it's been so exciting for me to wander around and see all the people here today and to know the things that you are doing to take the business here to much greater heights and to help more and more people around the world to understand what we're all about and to enable them to live happy, healthy, powerful lives as well. So I thank you, for that from the bottom of my heart. I know that it's just beginning what you're doing, and the future is going to be very bright for all of us as we begin to move this concept forward around the world. And you're doing such a wonderful job here, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the future. So I've had the joy in my life of being with Nutrilite since the very beginning. And I was my father's first experimental animal, probably the first one he could afford. And as a result of that, I've been with him from the very beginning, and I was his first person to help him make some of his products. And as I grew older, he encouraged me to go on to school and get my advanced degrees so I could help take Nutrilite to even higher levels in the future to benefit more and more people around the world. And as a result of that, we are making fast progress in all these areas, and it's very exciting to me to see that our concepts of health and fitness, they extend into greater aspects of life in terms of taking care of your children, taking care of your environment, taking care of the areas that you live in, to make this a wonderful place for all to live and survive. So that's the kind of business we're in, and that's a lot of fun. So I look forward to seeing you many times in the future, and I hope you come and see our farms yourselves in California and around the world. So you can gain even more knowledge about what we do, so you can take this to higher levels and to expand this business everywhere in the world. So I wish you good luck, and I'm going to turn this over now to two of my younger companions to tell you a little bit about their good work in this area. Thanks so much for all you guys do too. Thanks, Pat. Thanks, buddy. I'm going to get it out of here somewhere. I think I get down over here. Okay.
Wow. Dr. Sam. Sam, thank you so much for being here today. Yeah. Thank you for being part of the Amway family as well. Kind of whenever I talk with Dr. Sam, I'm reminded a little bit about how health and wellness has always been part of our history and our values. But being a successful health and well-being company today, it looks a little different than it did 90 years ago. But that's what's amazing about the opportunity and about all of the Amway business owners, all of you in this room. Well, together, we kind of take the best of the past, mix it with what's great today, and then use it to build a future that's stronger and better than ever. It's definitely how we stay on top. And I know with this country's national focus on health, the timing is perfect. If you think about it, we have the products to help people live better, healthier lives. We have the right knowledge. We have the right passion, and we're invested in this market because we see the potential in everybody in this room. Well, I want to tell you a little story. It's a story actually Doug has told a couple of times, but he doesn't know that I'm going to tell it. You know, Doug and I have been partners a long time, and we have a well-worn path between our two desks. A lot of decisions in the past have been made in that small space. Well, maybe it's a little longer, but it's a few steps between our desks. But the decisions that we made affected the direction of the business. We wanted to own the future. We wanted to take bold decisions that our hearts and minds knew would lead to growth for business owners, for all of you. It was the... Yeah. I think it was the strength of our partnership and our friendship, of our trust in each other, but our trust in all of you as well, that allowed us to make decisions, bold decisions, and move us forward into the future. I know Dad and Rich always knew that partnership would be important to the success of the business. We see it today in the great partnerships that you have within your organizations, but the partnerships you have with Milind, with everyone in the company as well. And just as we've had pivotal moments in the past, I think today we're at another pivotal moment. I can't say that too easily. But I think the move to total health and well-being solutions is truly our opportunity to win. And it comes down to the strength of our partnership, having our hearts and minds in sync. You're the leaders of tomorrow. I know together we have the power to impact millions of lives. But together, we can own our future success. But I told a little story when we were in Shanghai that I'd like to finish with tonight. Stories about actually a number of years ago, I was the chairman of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, along with being chairman of Amway. But I got to travel around the world and meet a lot of different people. And I remember whenever I met somebody, I met a lot of people in political offices in different places. But I'd always want to talk a little bit about Amway and made sure that whoever I met said Amway at least 3 different times. So I remember meeting a mayor. I met a mayor and started talking to him about Amway. And I remember him asking me, what is it that makes Amway so successful? He said, is it our products? Is it maybe our manufacturing, our plant? I said, no, those things are all great. But there's one thing that really makes Amway successful. The one thing that makes Amway successful is the people. It's the entrepreneurs. It's everyone in this room. Thanks, everybody. Thank you. And now I have the joy of turning the floor over to my good friend and partner, Doug DeVos.
All right.
Doug.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah. Thank you, sir. You know, Steve is, yeah. You know, Steve's exactly right. All of you are what makes this business special. And that's why it's such an honor for us to have the chance to be here with you tonight and to share a few thoughts, a few stories, and just remind ourselves and all of you how much we care and appreciate and love each and every one of you, and how grateful we are for the work that you're doing. And so as we gather here tonight, I just want to share a few things. First thing I want to talk about is how grateful Steve and I are for Dr. Sam and Francesca. I want you to know how wonderful they really are. And I learned that myself by knowing them. But I remember early in my career, I got to sit in on a meeting with Dad and Jay and Dr. Sam. And Dr. Sam was talking about Nutrilite, and he was talking about manufacturing, and he was talking about marketing. And I remember seeing Dad and Rich and Jay's eyes light up. They had a level of respect for Sam. They knew his level of commitment. They knew his knowledge. They knew his intellect. And when Sam wanted to do something, Rich and Jay knew that they'd better do it and that they'd better walk with him because Sam had the right instincts for this business and certainly for the Nutrilite product and brand. So I want to recognize Sam and Francesca, who's been with him all these years, for all the contributions that they've made. And I want to echo Steve. As Steve said, we're kind of joined at the hip in our partnership. And when he talks about owning the future with the strategy that you've seen here tonight, he means it. And we are completely aligned with Milind and the entire Amway management team and how they're presenting and building this strategy to benefit all of you and your customers and the newest people who will be joining this business in the days, weeks, and years ahead. So we're excited about the future that we have. And as Steve said, we can own that future. All right? Now, every time we look at that in the Amway business, it's always a balance of keeping the great foundations that we have and yet transitioning to the new things that the market is demanding and that the future is calling for. You know, I always get a little, maybe nervous. Maybe that's not the right word. I always get a little overwhelmed whenever I see those photos and those messages from Rich and Jay, like the start of the meeting, because it reminds me of the strength of the foundations of this business. And I know that my father wrote a book about that a number of years ago called Compassionate Capitalism. And it tried to bring together the ideas that he and Jay had about how business should really work. And you heard him express it in this video that was here when he said, it's about you first, me second. It's about looking after other people. And throughout the history of Amway, we've talked about the business opportunity in that sense of how to help people have a business of their own. And I remember a time riding back from an Amway meeting in a car, and my father was just looking out the window and shaking his head. And I said, what are you thinking about? And he said, the plan. The plan. This business opportunity, this simple plan that started in the Nutrilite days, but has developed and connected and impacted people across generations all over the world. Think about it, what's happened with that. But you know and I know there would be no plan if there was no product. It starts with the product. It started with what they saw those years ago in Nutrilite when they went to their first Nutrilite meeting. And when they decided that that was a business they wanted to be part of because they saw that product and they believed in that product. And that's the foundation that we have in this business today. But we have the chance to use all the science, all the technology, all the learnings that we've had that Dr. Sam just talked about and that you've seen on the screen to change a little bit our message. And when we talk to people and we put other people first, what could be more important for somebody else than their health? What could be better for us to do in the years ahead is to make sure that when we say you first, we're talking about their health first. And recognizing that that is so valuable. Dr. Sam always talked about that health and wealth balance. And we have an opportunity to change the world, especially with what we've just gone through in the last few years, when people are paying attention to their health in a new way. We have the solutions for what they could achieve to make themselves better. Right? And you, each and every one of you, have the opportunity to bring it to them and to demonstrate it to them. Because there's another element I want to talk about, and that's how we make these ideas personal. Nothing changes in business or in life until a leader changes. And in the Amway business, your business isn't going to change until you change. Dr. Sam said it earlier. Yeah. And we have the confidence in you to be able to take that step into the future. Dr. Sam said it earlier in his phrase about being a product of the product. What could be better when you put somebody else first is to demonstrate to them what you've learned. And you say, I want to help you, not because of something that I've heard, but because of something that I've done. I want to encourage you to make this personal at a new level as we go forward together. And think about what you can offer to people with this business opportunity and with the new products that we have and the new strategy that's coming together. I want you to make it personal. Can you do that? I think you can. And as I was thinking about it, a thought came to my mind. This year, just a little while ago, I actually celebrated my 59th birthday. And that really doesn't matter much, except for one real important reason. My grandfather, my dad's dad, died when he was 59. And so that milestone in our family has always meant something. And at that time, and given the health conditions that he had, he wasn't able to overcome his challenges. But I began to think, what if he could have? As Dr. Sam said, what if he was touched a little younger in his life? What if somebody reached out to him and taught him about how he could be healthier? What if somebody led by a personal example and then reached out to him to help him be healthier? What if he had lived another 5 or 10 years? I would have had a chance to know him because he passed away before I was born. I never met him. And so these ideas are not just concepts. They're not just marketing campaigns. The Amway idea, the Nutrilite idea, is personal. It's about you and your ability to help others first. And this whole business is built on that concept. The leaders that we're going to hear from, the leaders that we celebrate, are leaders because they did the best job of helping other people first. And your path to success is the same path that they had. What can we do to help somebody else first? And the tools and the opportunities that we have today in Amway are better than they've ever been in our history. And I know that you're going to grab on to everything. All right? I know that you're going to grab onto everything we've talked about here tonight, and that we're going to continue with Todd and the whole Amway Thailand team going to continue to be talking about into the future. And I know you're going to grab onto that opportunity. We know that you're going to take it forward. We know you're going to reach out to more and more people so that they can indeed live better, healthier lives. And you're going to reach out and touch more people than we could have ever imagined so that they can indeed make that a reality. And when you do that, Dr. Sam, Francesca, Steve, me, Milind, the entire Amway family is going to be walking with you every step of the way because we're going to build that future together. Thanks, everybody. Thank you so much. Khop khun krap.
Thank you, Dr. Sam Rehnborg, Steve Van Andel, and Doug DeVos.